Was that it should be the first glittering prize in a succession of privatizations.
They found that the company was a shambles because in 1978 and 1979 and 1980, hundreds of millions of pounds of the taxpayers' money had been spent and lost trying to put Laker Airways out of business by competing in the sky.
Bob Beckman specializes in aviation law, advising Laker for nearly 30 years and monitoring his competitors' every move.
There is a possibility that I was, in fact, Lord King's first prey. But, of course, the trouble with predators and prey is you never know who the prey is until it's dead.
At the beginning of 1981, Laker expanded his cut-price airline dramatically. He ordered a fleet of 10 Airbuses, A300s, to add to his DC-10s. The symbol of free enterprise had no difficulty in raising the millions he needed.
The bankers in those days thought so much of me that they were literally wheeling the money in wheelbarrows. You know, I mean, you know, there was unlimited funds available. I mean, I bought 5 DC-10s, and the Exim Bank of the United States had put up whatever it was, about $140 million. McDonnell Douglas were putting their money in, General Electric were putting their money in, and there was no trouble raising the money for the A300s.
Laker's new dream was radical. His expanded fleet would take Skytrain to Europe.
In other words, deregulation in Europe, which scared the pants off every single European airline. None of them wanted it. They could see what deregulation was doing in the United States. They could see that the Skytrain had been very, very successful and was being very successful, and they certainly didn't want to lose what they got.
Laker Airways was detested by the airlines club, the International Air Transport Association, IATA, which controls all aspects of air travel, including pricing. Soon after Laker's European announcement, the club struck back.
The real problem came when Pan American decided to apply for fares to match Laker across the board. Whatever the fare was, they were into it. But of course, only where I was operating. They matched Laker. They weren't going to lower their fares elsewhere.
BA said the fares were economic suicide, but went along with them. Targeting Laker, they called it jugular marketing.
They were reacting from weakness. And especially Pan Am and TWA were Pan Am especially, were enormously weak at that time.
And so were British Airways.
And British Airways were having enormously bad results. They were in talks with the government about financing their redundancy arrangements.
We knew that fair competition could never kill us, but predatory practices could. And pricing below cost was designed not only to wound but to kill.
Competition is about eliminating competitors, not about competition. That's what business is about. It is about the elimination of competitors.
Before BA could follow Pan Am in cutting fares on Laker's routes, the Transport Minister, Ian Sproat, had to approve.
The minister in charge, Ian Sproat, phoned me personally, and he said, "Freddie, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but I'm going to approve the Pan Am fares." And I said to him, "Minister, I will be out of business in 3 months."
Lord King was untroubled. While his state airline matched Laker's fares, it started a whispering campaign against the symbol of enterprise culture, suggesting to travel agents that Skytrain would perish that winter.
They did absolutely everything. They even gave me a code name, Tudor King. And
I was the grinning pullover.
Well done. So they've got a name for it. That's a good start.
They actually had a unit set up behind locked doors of 12 people whose sole job was to actually go into our computer information. They had people going up to our passengers at the airport, approaching them and offering them bribes to move over to British Airways. They had them ringing them at their homes. And the smear tactics were particularly unpleasant. And the principal thing is we decided to sue them before they actually put us out of business rather than waiting for the events to happen. We've been helped by your experience. I mean, I think you know, people maybe wouldn't have believed you, whereas they'll believe us because of what happened to you.
The effect of the fare cuts and the rumours on Skytrain bookings was immediate and very damaging.
the ding-a-ling machine stopped ringing. The phones didn't ring. And our load factor dropped like a stone. But I told Ian Sproke that this would happen.
6 weeks after the start of the cartel's price war, Laker's lawyer, John Rowley, was unexpectedly summoned to a meeting with Lord Benson, an advisor to the governors of the Bank of England. Benson told Rowley he should advise his client to close down.
As I came out, because I didn't say very much and I was so taken aback, as I came out I got actually quite angry because I thought, well, what the hell is